Fort Pasture. It took you a journey, but you got here. Hopefully, you looted some good things on the way, like an armor, maybe even a new weapon. You'll notice that my character level is a little higher than before, and I don't have the shovel when I set to make one. Fortunately, I was able to loot a Chris, and I did the mission previously, which bumped me up quite a bit. Before we get started on anything, now that we're here, there's a couple things that you should definitely know before you continue this journey. These being the DF Profiler, which allows you to access the boss block from anywhere. You don't want to walk into a boss block without knowing what's waiting for you. The next two are strictly in game related, one being your sprint button, and the other one being your reticle. The sprint button will be very important in the future, as you'll be sprinting a lot more than you normally would. Using your pinky all the time will tire it out, and you wouldn't want to play like that. It will get you killed. As for your reticle, you'll need to step in game. Once you step outside, go into your settings and click on the crosshair. You can choose whatever you want as long as it's bright, and change your size from 20 to 40 so you have an easier time seeing where your crosshair is at all times. Today's mission is Mowdown, a little on the difficult side if you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to show you exactly what I do down there, and hopefully this can help you out. Keep in mind that chainsaws are one of the more dangerous weapons. You want to keep your distance at all times, but also be close enough to make sure you get the kill. When fighting a bunch of enemies and bosses, you're going to sprint quite a bit, and the number one crucial rule when you use melee or chainsaws is to never go below 20%. Anytime you go below 20%, you need to back off, recharge some energy, and get back into the fight. Now that we're here, I'm going to demonstrate tap sprinting. I'm pretty sure most of you have already done this, but it becomes really crucial when you want to guide zombies into a certain pattern, or even bosses. When you gather a horde, try to get them directly in the middle and tap sprint around them. Holding sprint will make them lose aggro on you, causing them to run to a different direction. That can easily get you killed or make you break your circle. There will be times you will need to break your circle, even while tap sprinting, but not as common as holding your sprint. If you're running a certain direction and they're running that direction as well, break your circle or run the opposite direction, counterclockwise or clockwise, whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to speed up the clip to demonstrate that you can do this entire mission without getting hit a single time as long as you're doing exactly what you're seeing here. Tap sprinting and making sure you're fully focused on what direction the enemies are running. Now keep in mind when you do this build, this may be easy for others and may be difficult for others. Not everyone will be able to pull off just using only a chainsaw. When you do this build, the most important thing to cut out is fear. Here I noticed that I'm about to finish the mission, so I want to go ahead and run to the soldiers to talk to them. Doing that will complete the second half of the mission, and then I finish it off in the top right. Now that we have completed the mission, it's time to head home. Completing the mission won't be the end of your journey, for today of course. You're going to want to loot or do bosses. Preferably you want to do bosses over looting. You may not get the money you want, but At this point, EXP kind of matters a little bit more. Now that we're almost home, we're going to go ahead and hit that boss nest that I showed at the beginning of the video. Get a little bit of money and more EXP. It doesn't matter when you run to SB. However, just keep in mind that enemies will take a little longer to kill, so we do want to grow a little bit while we're here. If you do decide to loot, however, the best place for Fort Pasture would be one up one right. There's a bunch of apartments there that you can load up on. Take everything. Doesn't even matter what it is. Just take it, bring it back home, and scrap it all. Here I'm checking which boss block I want to do it in. I go one up to look at the map, and I see that it looks pretty terrible. So I go back down and go to the bottom right court, where I'll try to trap each boss and fight them individually. When you manage to get a boss in a 1v1, always try to take care of the ads first. They're the ones who are going to hit you, not the boss itself. Here, unfortunately, I got stuck with two mothers. And you've probably noticed that I've been able to stun the Titan and the mother. That's because any enemies with 5000 HP or lower are susceptible to stuns. This actually can harm you. It will be very difficult to keep both mothers stunned at all times. And you'll notice that I switch over to my melee weapon because the chainsaw is not cutting it out here. I use that new wooden axe that I looted, and it's doing work already. After moving around a little bit, I get the final mother to spawn. I drag it into the court and chainsaw it to death. Since it's all alone, using the chainsaw is way better. Being able to stun it forever makes the looting process much easier. And now with the final mother dead, I loot all the bodies and get my ass out of here. Since I was able to loot a wooden axe, I can craft myself a skull splitter, a melee weapon that hits for 100 damage. This allows me to 2-shot to 4-shot every single enemy at Sekronam. This will be enough until I can loot a 100 weapon or a 110 weapon, that being either the katana, the wakizashi, or preferably the nadachi. Normally I would say go for a chainsaw upgrade, but while you're up there, you're still growing, so having a horde will end your run. You do not want that. So going melee right now would be the best choice. I upgrade my wooden axe just so I could save a little bit of money. If I were to turn it into the skull splitter and then upgrade it, it'll be more expensive. And here are the final stats. We're gonna go ahead and hit the second arm just like this. Even though we didn't get a better armor, as long as you're not getting hit, armor doesn't matter. What you really need is just a weapon to keep you alive and to help you grow. That being the skull splitter.